So from a young age on, I was always told by the people around me that I was under challenged by school. People always remarked how intelligent or well spoken I was. Um, but my grades were actually complete garbage when I was younger. And people concluded that I was simply underwhelmed by the school system and that it was way too easy for me. So I just didn't really feel an urge to learn or whatever. And I actually felt the complete opposite. So the school system felt very overwhelming for me, and I kept feeling stressed, unsatisfied, unfulfilled with my life, and I felt like I'm just not fit for it because I was bad in every single subject. Like genuinely, I had bad grades everywhere. Um, Especially seeing like the other kids who just kind of seemed to ease into every subject. They were getting good grades, or they were like they seemed to be having a good time, and I was not. I neither had a good time, was neither fun, nor did I have good grades. It's not that I was underwhelmed by the school system. I just didn't like it. It was just not for me. I can't sit on my ass for 6 hours straight and pretend to focus on something that I deep down just genuinely don't care about. And this is not to sound like cool or edgy, like oh yeah, I'm just way above this shit or whatever. No, I'm just saying that this method never worked out for me, and for other people it did, seemingly. Like for girls especially, they could always focus really well in class, but I just couldn't. For me, it never worked out. I was sitting in school physically, but mentally I was in a completely different, desolate place. And this feeling kept following me throughout most of my life. I barely ever saw the point. Not to say that there's not. I was always unable to see a point for me. The only time period where I actually semi-focused were my last 2 years where I was attending trade school, because I actually I received a full apprenticeship there, and I learned some valuable things about like business, legal issues, insurances, and taxes and stuff there. So I actually kind of enjoyed going there because things were genuinely interesting. Like I was quite curious about these things, and it decently prepares you for the things you're about to face when you go into like when you start working or making money or whatever. And um, throughout all my life, I just kind of like life just kind of proved, like just showed me that I'm unable to sit my ass down and focus on something that I'm not interested in. I'm just unable to do it. And a friend of mine who actually goes to university right now told me something that struck my mind. So let me tell you a quick story. I was hanging out with a friend of mine and like his university friend group. So we had like a couple of guys, a couple of girls, and in social settings, like if I like the people, if I feel good, I'm really outgoing, right? So I was probably speaking the most, yeah. And one of the girls were like, Jesus fucking Christ, you jump from like subject to subject within split seconds. How the fuck is your mind like? Pop, 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 I'm just going like a machine gun. And so my friend who goes to university, he turned to me and he said, "Bro, you have to keep in mind, students think very slow. You think ultra fucking fast." And this is not to say that either one of us is like smarter or dumber or whatever. It's just that most university students, at least by his words, think slower in a sense that they take more time, like for single thoughts, right? So they examine thoughts very thoroughly and take time for it. While my ADHD brain just keeps firing and firing and firing. And this like that's probably one of the reasons why I'm just unable to focus if I don't genuinely care. I can't force myself to care. I simply prefer doing way more practical work, and that's also the way that I learn the fastest. If I think about it, all the skills that I have, some of my skills are like fitness coaching, right? So I'm naturally a good teacher, and I can teach you all you need to know about programming, muscle gain, weight loss, strength gain, whatever the fuck. I know some rehab and pre-op stuff because I used to go to physical therapy school, and I actually had some injuries, pathologies, like myself, that I actually cured on my own. Um, I know like lots of things about diet. I can get your diet on point. Um, Sales is something that I learned through my insurance business. Video editing. I don't really edit my videos these days because I just don't want to. But like I can edit videos, and I could really refine it if I wanted to, but I just don't want to. I really dislike video editing, but I can do it. Um, I have rhetorical skills, so things like behavior and speech. I can get people to make a decision. I can get people to kind of do what I want. It's something that you learn in sales if you're ever working for such a company. Um, Martial arts, making music. I can speak lots of languages and do sort of things that I can simply do because I kept doing them. And like learning a language is actually a really, really good example. I learn languages simply through using them. So writing down the word dishwasher like 100 times is not going to make me learn English. It's not going to make me better at speaking English. Speaking does. And again, this is the way that I learn the most efficient. It's not to say that everyone is like this, but just, a quarter of the population probably is like that. And university is a very theoretical space, which is still very valuable. I'm glad that these people exist because we need people to record and examine things on a theoretical basis as well. Also, since there's just by the way, there's no attendance duty in university, so besides exams and maybe a few like a few classes there, you don't really have to show up, right? I would never show up. I throughout all my school years, I always called in sick. Just pretend, I just always kept pretending to be sick. I did this all the fucking time. So ultimately, I know of myself that I'm just not going to take it seriously. I won't be going all in if I don't see the point, and I already have a strong network of good friends and companies that I work with. So I'm practically set. I have a very strong starting point already. And if I were to go to university, not to say that it would be wrong, but I already kind of figured out what I want from life. Not to say that I figured out everything, but I kind of figured out that academics is not the thing that I'm going to pursue. Simple as that. But this is not to discourage you from attending university. And in fact, I think you should attend university, especially if you don't know what to do now. And here's why. So first and foremost, you get to soak up knowledge and develop some sort of skill. Even if the subject you're studying is not exactly what you want to be doing for the rest of your life, developing your skill set and ultimately your worth as a member of society is always a good thing. So an example of me, for example, I went to physical therapy school. I just went there for a year, learned some stuff, and then I kind of figured this job is not exactly for me. I kind of cared more about the athletic stuff. Didn't really care too much about... So the main focus was obviously on elder care and things like that, which it's a fantastic thing, but I just can't do it, right? It's not my thing. But I learned a lot about anatomy there. I know all the muscles in the human body. I know what functions they do. And for example, I had the tendonitis in both of my arms, so I had really strong elbow tendonitis, which just came from overuse. And I managed to cure it by myself pretty easily. And I also helped other people cure their back pain, whatever, their neck pain and things like that. So I am a more valuable human being because I attended those classes. Whether or not I ultimately became a PT or not, I still know these things. I can still help people. And even if you still have to figure things out, time will be passing by anyway. So at least you got to learn a skill in the meantime and got a certificate that can secure you a decent job. And people like to shit on university a lot, on jobs and saying things like, oh yeah, I'm just either gonna be rich or I'm gonna be homeless. There's no in between. I'm so fucking tough. And I'm one of these guys. But bro, I'm genuinely kind of fucked in the head, right? But you're just kind of being edgy in my opinion. Even me, who's kind of mental, right? I've got 2 completed apprenticeships. I'm not like some kind of fucking need or some shit. I actually have my things. I actually have certificates. I have access to decent jobs. And having a well-paying, stable job is a fantastic asset to have because you never know what the future brings for you. And there's actually quite some valuable things that they teach you when it comes to people, sales, psychology, etc., even self-improvement. The issue is not necessarily just with the university itself, but rather within the students attending university. So they were learning. So I've got friends that go to university, right? They're actually going there, and they actually learn really good things about people, about self-improvement, how to get yourself to learn, how to build discipline, things like that. They actually learn these things, or at least the university is trying to teach these things. But school taught you all your life that learning is a thing you do to memorize stuff momentarily in order to pass through exams, and not to actually apply and manifest these things in order to become a better, more functional, more valuable human being. So if you actually apply valuable lessons, you'll inherit far more from university than the average just brain-dead partying student. Number 2 is that you get to know people. Networking is one of the most important things, and I understand that universities are not filtered. They are full of soy, low-test betas who can't even do push-ups. Like genuinely, I've seen them myself. I occasionally go to the cafeteria and eat, because it's cheap as fuck. Bro, they how the fuck can you be a man? But it just doesn't make sense to me how you can let yourself get out of shape. If you're out of shape, bro, if you don't fix that within like 6 months from watching this video, bro, you're subhuman in my opinion. But whatever. Except if you have an illness, you get a pass. But that's just one side of the story. If you actively look out and filter for good, valuable, strong people, university is actually full of them. Don't hang out with the guy that smokes weed every 2 days on the campus garden. Hang out with the guy leading the military lifestyle, just working out, waking up, attending class, studying, going to the gym, doing self-improvement, reading books. These people exist. It's just that they're generally the quiet ones. So you have to actively look out for them. But if you are that person yourself, and if you keep going to the calisthenics parks to do your pull-ups, if you go to the martial arts classes, if you do your studies, if you ask the kind of nerdy guys, nerdy in the sense that they actually like do their shit, if they would like study with you and to genuinely try to learn things, you will get to know them. As long as you are a good person who's good intended, you will get to know good people. Simple as that. And my last and final point is that it's fun. So now fun for me is not a hedonistic seek for pleasure. We are not children anymore who get excited for things like ice cream and some shit. But university offers fun activities based on actual productive things. The university in my city, for example, offers a language cafe where people meet up and speak on a foreign language of choice for practice and have conversations, play games, etc. And you get to know other cultures, which in my opinion is an invaluable life experience. And things like studying abroad, going to foreign countries are fucking fantastic. And picturing these things in my mind makes me regret not going to university. Doesn't it sound fun to have a group of self-improvement, maxing university friends and starting some random online business with them? Those experiences will be so fun to look back at later in life and actually get you further ahead because you get to experience your and everyone else's progress and mistakes. So you not only get to learn by yourself, but you get to learn from other people simultaneously. And what's probably understood by now is that university is like by default is neither good or bad. It's neither a good or a bad place to be in. It really is what you make out of it. If you hang with the weak ass soy betas or the pot smokers who party every single week, it's a horrible place to be in, man. You're completely wasting your time. But if you actually have your military group of friends who actually want to learn something and improve on their skill set, you will have a fantastic and beautiful growth period. Thanks for watching.